Hi everyone and welcome back to the Life of a CEO podcast. Today we have a fellow Italian as a guest, Roberto Pleitavino, CEO of ORIS Japan. Thank you for coming, Roberto.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here.
Good. So usually we started this with just like an overview basically of your career and how you got to be a CEO.
Okay, I'm Italian, as you said, from Torino, and actually I started my career in a law firm. I graduated in law, and then so I worked for 3 years in a law firm, but I wanted to do something more international. So I shifted to international consultancy, helping companies going abroad to establish joint ventures. And during my consultancy activity, I got aware about a program of the European Union that is named ETP, is an executive training program in Japan. And I joined this program, so I came to Japan for 1 year and a half. It's a program that aims, at that time, for young business people.
Still young.
20 years ago, it was 20 years ago, to learn about Japanese business environment, and also actually the main topic was to learn Japanese language.
Were you in Tokyo at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you speak English, Japanese at the time? Or?
No, I came and I didn't speak Japanese, so it was almost from zero, but it was a very intensive program. The European Union really put a lot of efforts in this program, so it was 1 year studying business Japanese all the day, so almost we couldn't work. And then also we had lectures from foreign CEO based in Japan at that
That's
time.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And then we had also 6 months of internship in a Japanese company, so that was a very good experience to be involved in the...
And you could practice your Japanese,
Yes.
in the environment.
Yeah, that was great. But after that, actually, I went back to Italy. I started to work for an Italian jewelry brand that sent me to Japan later.
Okay.
And there I was the number 2 here in Japan in the subsidiary. From there I stepped up in my first position as a CEO for a German company in the glassware, crystal glassware items.
And you were there for many years, right?
Yes, I stayed here in Japan, taking care of the Japanese market for 14 years.
Yeah. That's a very long tenure for like a foreign CEO in Japan. Usually we see like rotation every 3 to 5 years, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
If you want to grow, if you really want to bring something to the company where you're working, I think that you need to set different goals. And so I think that during this year, I went on setting the first goal that was to turn the company into profitability. The second one was to expand more the retail, and then start the e-commerce locally. So that was, I think, the reason that kept me in that organization for a long time.
I think that's quite interesting because we've experienced similar things, right? We obviously set up a business in Japan, and I think we're just going into phase 2 now after 6 years, right? But I think you do have to recognize the different phases of where you are. How many people were in the business? How many people did you manage?
It was a small organization because we were doing a lot of wholesale business through distributors. So it was less than 15 people, considering also some shop staff, because it was a mix of own retail and wholesale business. So it was not so big organization, but I think that was really what I was looking for, because in such a way I could really cover all the aspects of the company. So I think that yes, as a CEO you have to be a little bit a generalist. So you need to know about the products, about the logistics, about the sales, for sure, that is the main aspect, but then the marketing, everything. So I don't want to say that I was doing everything by myself, because it's an organization, but I developed a knowledge in the different sectors.
Which area did you naturally gravitate towards? Was it sales or was it the operational side? Because usually every CEO has a main strength, right? Or,
Yeah. I think that sales is still now my core.
Do you think sales is the most important part of an organization, especially in your kind of category of product, which is high-end, value product, retail product, both high-end glasses, right, the glassware and now watches, like.
But sales, yes, I think that is important, but now you need to sell, especially in the luxury, sell emotion. And so to sell emotions, you need a strong support from the marketing, for the PR side. It's not anymore just the products and the price or how many times you visit your customers, because also the consumers' attitude change.
So now you're kind of, I guess, at the peak of your game, should be, right? You've got all that experience. You're in a job now where it sounds like you're the most passionate about a product you've ever been in your career. So what challenges are you facing now in the current role?
The challenge is really that, for example, my brand was well known in the past for a very nice balance between Swiss quality and the price. Yep. It was a time where there were still many people wearing watches. The watch was something that was almost necessary.
Yes.
Now it's not necessary anymore. I mean, if you want to know about the time, you have the mobile, that's a smartphone everywhere like this. So you buy this kind of items when you want to reward yourself for an achievement, for something like this. Also, when they buy watches, is different compared to the past, that they were going to the regular store where they were used to go, asking for advices. Now, a lot of people, they already get the information before through YouTube, Instagram, these, and then when they go shopping a watch, mainly they already have idea of what they're looking for.
It sounds like marketing is really important then.
Yeah.
Because you've got to create the right perception.
Yeah. And then what I like, even when I was working for this glassware company, and here, since both the company, they are independent, so there are more flexibility, and I'm happy because they are asking me, what do you think that can work in Japan? Can you suggest some original items for Japan? How do you think that we can promote the brand in Japan? For sure, then I need the approval of the headquarters, but this was what attracted me in.
Do you use any, I'm sure you do, but any kind of really localized marketing strategies, maybe with, I don't know, influencers or?
Yes. We are not a big company, so we have to pay attention to our resources, but I started with the idea to have some local ambassadors. I started to build a team of friends of the brand. Yep. So one is an artist, a young painter, another one is a pianist. Another one is a lady that is a racer, a driver. Okay. What is important is anyway that these people, they collaborate with us, not just thinking about the economic side, but they should feel something for our brand, and also how we approach them is that these kind of people, for example, they are independent, they are challenging themselves, they are not famous yet, but we feel that they have rooms to potentialities to grow.
Like, what do you think is the biggest people challenge that you face in your current company, and maybe specific to Japan as well?
Yeah. But actually, yes, this is a very important point. First of all, you really realize the shortage of labor force. Is something incredible, because the news, they talk about the decrease of population, and that's true, but what I feel is the decrease of active population. That is much more higher than the decrease of population. And also not only to find people, but to find good people. Especially, I would like to say, when you look for Japanese, is becoming much more difficult, especially if you look for bilingual people. Yes, your company, I think that it is one of that is very focused on these bilingual people, but it is really a challenge.
And even when you find somebody good, because there's so few of them, they get 3-4 offers.
Yes.
It's so competitive, you know, and it's unlike any other market, I think, like that. If you get one good candidate, they're pretty much guaranteed 3 or 4 offers.
Yeah.
And then you have to be the best company, pay competitive salary, have a good personal chem. Everything has to be correct. For them to join.
And you need really to move quickly also because I remember in Italy, people they apply, you take your time, something like this. Here, if you have to manage something with the headquarter because you need also the approval of the headquarter, you really need to push for a quick answer because otherwise
they're gone.
Yeah.
How do you find like working with, we're all getting a little bit older here, right? So how do you find managing like a younger workforce, so people in their 20s, do you see a difference or do you think different challenges?
Yeah, for sure there is a change in terms of requests. You have more requests about remote work, about paid holidays, about flexibility. Especially I think that perhaps a lot of young people, they really got, in my opinion, too much used to the remote work. And I think that there it depends on the business that you are managing, it depends on the structure that you have. If you have a big organization, if you don't deal with products but with services, I think that is much more easier to work in terms of remote work.
Yeah. How many people do you have now?
There are less than 10 people.
Okay, so it's pretty easy to do it. We had to change, for instance, our policy. We went from full office work to now we have a hybrid solution as well.
Do you have a lot of CEOs we talk to when hiring?
Yes.
There's often a very different perception from how you feel about a local candidate, especially with the sometimes English not being amazing, and then how head office views a local candidate, and there's sometimes a gap. Do you have to manage that? Are you always on the same page? Because very often we'll see a candidate who locally Japan's like, okay, this person's perfect for this market, and head office is like, what? Like really? And it's tough. How about you?
But I have to say that I have quite freedom here, but it depends on the position. For sure, the perception is a little bit different. The job of the CEO is also to think what is important for the local market, but also to understand what are the expectations of the headquarter, and also to explain to the headquarter that candidate perhaps for them doesn't look the best one because sometimes Japanese, they are more shy during an interview. They don't want to show so much.
We have a lot of these in sales. Like I think that maybe one of the biggest area of contention is really like sales, where HQ will expect someone a bit more aggressive and someone a bit more outgoing and extroverted, where in Japan sales a lot of the time is based on the network.
Yes, you are right. Also, for example, something that happened in the past, so it was a different company, it was about the age also, that I was looking for a person that was 60, and the gentleman that I was talking was in the 40s. And so 60, considering some countries in Europe, they're already thinking to retire, to go on the cruise ship, and then what kind of motivation they have. But here in Japan is different. You don't have such a wonderful retirement package, and so people they work until quite late.
It's also there is a big chunk of population that is age 60. I mean, if with less and less people entering the workforce every year, so you also need to have a look at. We advise our clients all the time, and you need to have a look at that demographic as well, because the younger you go, the more competitive it is, and the less there are. It's just as simple as that.
And I think that you can still find the people in that age that, especially in Japan, they still have motivation because, as I said, it's not like in some European countries that, okay, just thinking you're going play golf or something like this. Here also in Japan, okay, I mean, there are perhaps people that they work for the big trading companies, they can allow to have such kind of, but in that case, I felt this different perception.
So one question we always ask,
Yes.
You're now in a position where you are very lucky in that you're really passionate about what you do, right? But if you were giving advice to people who are just starting to enter the work, right? Do you think it's important to be passionate?
But it's not easy to give an advice because I think that it depends on the people, on your character. For myself, I feel that if I feel passionate about a product, about an activity, I can give the best of me.
Cool. Last question. I think we have an Italian guest. So a bit more frivolous type of question. What's the best Italian restaurant in Tokyo?
As Italian, when I want to feel at home, I think that Elio La Locanda is the classic one where you can feel at home. I think that they are good, that they don't have so many changes in the staff. They have a good mix of Japanese, Italians, so I think that is very good. Recently, I discovered also a good Italian restaurant in Ginza, since I'm...
Okay.
Tell us. Close to our office.
That is Gustavino. Okay. It looks similar to my name. It's Pleitavino, is Gustavino. He's in the basement. But the chef is Japanese. The sommelier is Japanese also. But the chef studied in Italy, in my region, in Piedmont region. So it's,
I think we might check it out.
Yeah. We can go together.
Great.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for being with us, Roberto. It's been a pleasure, and thanks again.
My pleasure. It was a very nice conversation, and thank you very much for having me. It was very my pleasure. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Sounds good.